I read that India is planning to outperform China in the solar panel and semiconductor shortage crisis. What other avenues can India explore to increase our influence and importance for other countries even further? Especially, is there something we can provide to Russia that can potentially save them from becoming a Chinese satellite? India is not planning to outperform country X or country Y. India is planning to become a major power when it comes to solar panel technology, solar energy altogether, and in the semiconductor industry. Because right now, I think everyone would know, there is a semiconductor shortage crisis, which was precipitated by the whole COVID pandemic. So semiconductors, these microchips, etc., they are everywhere. They are required everywhere, from automobiles, from cars to washing machines to computers to everything. And if there's a shortage of that, prices go up. Things, these appliances and these devices, their availability becomes reduced, and so on. So it's a big problem. So India, this government, the current government, has realized how crucial the semiconductor industry is, and the chip manufacturing industry is, for the national security of the country. So India is in the process of setting up this industry in India on a large scale. And hopefully, in the next decade, in the next 10 years, India will become a major semiconductor and microchip, etc., power in the world. The industry should take off hopefully in the next 10 years. That is the plan that has been designed, and it is being implemented right now. And also, when it comes to solar panels and the solar industry, because India has this enormous surfeit of uh, solar power. So all the sun that we get, India is a very sunny country. We can utilize it to generate solar power, and that is obviously a green thing to do, right? Climate change and all that. So yeah, that's what India is doing now. What other avenues can India explore to increase our influence and importance for other countries even further? India needs to become a manufacturing powerhouse. It's as simple as that. Manufacturing all kinds of things, and if you manufacture things, your technological prowess also improves. You become more advanced technologically, and that's good for the country. So the thing is, when you manufacture all kinds of devices and all kinds of commodities yourself in house in your own country, you don't need to import those things from abroad. That way, your economy grows. You save on foreign exchange. You don't have to send money to others to get their commodities. You are able to manufacture everything yourself. And if your manufacturing industry is good enough, then you can even export those commodities to other countries if you are manufacturing things that they need, and that grows your economy. So that's what the Chinese used in the past 30 years to become an economic giant. Now, as we know, the world is trying to look for options other than China. The world is trying to decouple from China to some extent, because they they realize that this is creating a monster to some extent. So India could offer an alternative if India gets its house in order. Yeah. So the best way to increase our influence and importance and our stature, economically and globally, etc., is to become a manufacturing powerhouse, a manufacturing superpower. That's what India needs to do. If you look at the history of the world, countries that manufacture and countries that export more than they import, they inevitably become major economies. And that's what happened to India historically. Always, India was always a net exporter, always, of various goods and commodities throughout its history. And that's why India was always the largest economy in recorded history until in the last 500, 600, 700 years, right? So that's what India needs to do. India needs to find ways of becoming a manufacturing powerhouse, a manufacturing superpower. Everything needs to be manufactured in house. We need to stop importing things. We need to start becoming an exporter of all kinds of things. That's what India needs to do. How to do it, the government needs to figure out. We have experts in at all levels sitting there. They need to figure out how to do this. It's a challenge, for sure. It's a challenge, but we need to do it somehow or the other. So that's what needs to happen. Is there something we can provide to Russia that can potentially save them from becoming a Chinese satellite? See, right now India has to look out for its own interest. uh, if India rises, if India becomes a manufacturing power, then maybe we can help Russia in some way, but our first priority has to be India. Everybody's first priority is their own national interest. In the past, for decades, India and Russia were close allies cooperating together, but it is only because our national interests converged. India was looking out for its own national interest in whatever way it was doing it, and the Russians were looking out for their own national interest. And because the two converged, that's why there was this cooperation, and you could call it an alliance of some kind. So India needs to look out for itself first. Our job is not to help other countries that are in need. Our job is first and foremost to help ourselves and to ensure that our people and our country will be guaranteed long term security and prosperity. That's what we have to worry about. Our job is not to help other countries in need. That is not our job. It is the job of every country to look out for their own best interests, and that's what India needs to do.